Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we have Eternity of Pain Week 2 and we have the Icarus boss. So I am not sure if this Icarus boss is harder than the crossbones boss, because the crossbones fight was like very AI dependent, whereas this guy, you gotta be careful a lot, but the AI cannot screw you much unless like intercepts you or something, which it definitely didn't intercept me like 5 times. But yeah, let's get into the objectives, man. So you have 2 objectives if you're a Thronebreaker, and then if you are a Paragon, you got a 3rd one. So the first ones for Thronebreaker are to do it with a Mutant, and then you gotta do it with someone that's Control Denial. And then the 3rd objective, if you are Paragon, you gotta do it with a Symbiote. And we're gonna talk about how you can do that. So right here we are going with Psylocke, a 5-star Psylocke with suicides, and she actually is Control Denial and a Mutant. So by soloing this, you complete both objectives. And she's actually like, we speed this up because like there's so much intercepting. Like basically I didn't have like 200 speed at the start because I wanted to show you that like what I did, I just didn't get him to 6 energize. Because I don't know if you know this, but while Icarus has 7 or more energized buffs, you take energy damage if his power is reduced. And that means if he throws a special because he consumes 1 bar of power, you take that damage. And if you try to power control him, you take that damage. So you definitely want to have him power locked before getting him to sever energize. So I think what I did there is like I threw a special 1 to don't take the power detonation debuff that you take if you hit him with a medium attack. So there's a cooldown on that. Now you can see that power detonation, and the only way to prevent that is by throwing a special right there. See, it's gone and we didn't take any damage. But if you don't throw a special, you are gonna take a lot of energy damage. It's gonna be like almost half your health. As a 5-star, it's probably half your health. So if you hit him with a medium, you gotta throw a special before that expires. So I did that for the first special 1, and then I baited his special 1, and then with my second L1, I managed to like power drain him. And then after he threw the specials, he almost had like no power, and that's what you want to do with Psylocke. You want to bait his specials, and then you want him to have as less power as possible, and then throw your special 1 so that he has 0 power. And then if you do not get hit in the face, he's constantly power locked, so he cannot do anything. But let's talk about the nodes first. So the first node is called Ragnarok. If you stun him, he gains a Fury. Not a big deal, but with the next node it is a big deal. It's Fuel the Fire. So if he gains a Fury effect, he becomes passively unstoppable for 5 seconds, and then if he's already unstoppable, he gains a passive unblockable as well. So basically, if you parry him, he's gonna become passively unstoppable for 5 seconds, and you don't want that to happen. And then he also has a Mighty Charge 1, so if you try and go with like Archangel or something, it works, but it's gonna be harder because he's gonna be purifying those debuffs while he's dashing. And let's take a look at this. We got 66 of those side charges. I knock him down so that we deal normal damage, and then I want to bait a heavy attack, and look at this. Beautiful 116,000 damage, and he was at 1% and he died. So I think I had a video with like 99 side charges with Psylocke, and it was about like 150k damage. So I was like, this should finish him off, and it almost did, man. It like used all of our damage, which was very sick. I'm glad we connected that last intercept though. So 2 objectives are done with Psylocke, and I just do it with Clairvoyant because it's like so easy. She's by far the best option for sure. And the reason for that is, remember how we talked about the 7 energized buffs? Well, Mystics do not take that damage. So even if he has 7 energized damage, now he's gonna pop the special, we do not take damage because Mystic champions do not take the damage. But Claire is just so good as well, so that if you take that damage from, or sorry, if you take the power detonation debuff on you, if it explodes, you can just instantly heal that up. There is a heal bar, however, in this fight, but it's the special burst lockdown. So if he throws a special, you have a 4-second heal block and armor break, which kind of sucks with suicides, but I'm so glad they just put the 1 special burst lockdown and not like 3, because it would last for like 15 seconds if it was 3. So it's not a big deal. You can heal after his special 1. It's like his animation is like 2 seconds, and then the arm breaks lasting for another 2 seconds, or the heal buff. And then also, if you apply a debuff on him that he's immune to, he gains a fury. So this guy is immune to incinerate, so you do not want to be with Claire. You do not want to be on the incinerate phase, because if you throw an L1 or a heavy, he's gonna become passively unstoppable and unblockable. And then lastly, make a stand. He has an indefinite protection, which means he takes 90% less damage, and if you knock him down, the shield goes on a cooldown, and then for 15 seconds you can deal normal damage. So yeah, man, I don't know, Icarus, he's definitely tricky to fight, because they make you like want to use light attacks, because you don't want to take the energy detonation damage. But also, if you throw a lot of light attacks, he's getting so much energized, which means so much power. And then if he has 7 or more of those energized, it's kind of weird if you don't have a mystic character. But it's so easy with mystics, like with Claire. It took me like 1 or 2 tries, I think. But yeah, it's pretty easily. Even if you mess up, you have that healing, which is amazing. But yeah, man. Like Psylocke, I was so happy when I did that, because she's a 5-star, and we did it with suicides too. And I was actually scared because I had to throw a lot of specials, because I needed to knock him down, and also I needed to not take the power detonation debuff damage. But it actually helped me too, because it is not a passive, which means we're healing from willpower. But yeah, man, it's a sick fight. And when I completed this objective, I was like, why do I have 2 on my, like, the objectives? And I saw that it counted twice, and I had no idea that she is control denial as well. But I just wanted to do with Claire also, so that we can talk about the fight as well. She is by far the best counter, because like I said, even if you mess up, she's just so easily heals up, and you can let him have like 10 energize, and then with the SP2 you put that buff immunity, and your power goes from like 2 bars into another bar of power as well. It's like you nullify that. She's definitely the best counter. But yeah, man, we're gonna talk about, after this fight, we're gonna talk about like the best counters for control denial, mutants, and then also symbiotes. It's going pretty fast. We're using a 6 rank 3, but still, you can see even with a 5-star you can do this guy. But I don't know, I don't know if Icarus is like, they are both really hard, but I would say Icarus is more challenging, because crossbones, it was like a little bit BS, because like if he doesn't throw specials, you take the bane damage, which is fun and interactive. And also, like, you need to have bleed immune. If you didn't have a bleed immune, you cannot complete the fight. So that is a lot of requirement, I think. Whereas with Icarus, if you are a little bit like careful, actually a lot careful, because there's a lot going on, it's definitely a very hard fight. You can still do it without a mystic. But best counters are mystics, just because of that energized damage. There I parried him and he became unstoppable, accidentally. But look at our health now. We're gonna throw this special 2 just to remove the protection. We don't even care that we can heal, it's not gonna deal any damage anyway. And then we're gonna bait 1 more special, and we're gonna try and heal up. So you can see the heal block, it lasts for 2 seconds, and then we do the 5 combo, and then you can just heal. Look at our health, man. Claire is just so good. Like, you mess up, definitely the best counter to this guy. Definitely. There are some other mystics, like there's Symbiote Supreme for the symbiotes, which this guy is good too, but he doesn't have a healing. She's amazing. Okay, so I think we're gonna throw a heavy attack after this, and we're gonna go for an SP2. We didn't take the detonation there because we threw a special, and he has 6% health. Spade this out, and then I think like 1 combo should finish him off after this, after 1 more special. Oh, actually, we need to knock him down. So it's gonna be about like 250 hits with a 6-star Claire, and for Psylocke it was like I think 392 hits. It was definitely a lot, and it's very stressful with Psylocke because I got him down to 10% 2 times, and yeah, man, it's so annoying when you lose the 10%, but we managed to do it. But now let's get into the best counters. Okay, so first right here we have control denial. So you take the mystics, and those are the best for sure. Claire, definitely the best counter for everything. For this Icarus, you can heal, and it's just crazy. And then another mythic is Dr. Voodoo. He's actually pretty good as well because he can nullify those energized buffs. And like, keep in mind, Icarus has like, I think a 40% or 20% resistance. I think it's 20% resistance to poison. So your poison aren't gonna be as strong, but he still is a pretty good counter. Then you have mcoc, and mcoc is actually pretty good because he's got those staggers in the basic, not bad. And then Scarlet Witch, like, you need some luck, but she should work as well. And then another mystic is Doctor Strange. I don't think he's gonna work. Dormammu, it's gonna be difficult, but he for sure can work. There's a Wonk, but no one has him. And Magic is gonna be kind of hard because it's only a 5-star, but it's not bad. And then who other? Like, Doc Ock has a power lock. If you're a crazy good player, he could definitely work. And then I feel like, oh, Loki is, I don't think he's gonna work actually. But there is Professor X, and Professor X is a mutant as well. He definitely works because he's got a lot of damage with the prowess. But you gotta be careful as well because you don't want to do light attacks. Otherwise, you're gonna take damage each time you throw the special. So yeah, man, if you don't have a mystic, it's hard. And then there's Miles as well. With Miles, I don't know if it's possible, but he becomes unstoppable if you stun him twice while he's unstoppable. So I don't know if you can do something there. Probably difficult, but yeah. Now let's move over to the mutants section. So there is Archangel. He can definitely work, but the AI has to play perfectly so that your debuffs do not get purified. And then there is Namor. Namor is actually, I don't know if he works. I tried him. He kind of works. Like, you can make the power detonation debuff, and then if you time it while it's about to expire and you hit him with basic attacks, he takes the damage. But it's gonna be difficult again because you're not a mystic, so you cannot do more than 6 light attacks, or he can't do even. So it's definitely hard to do. And then who else is pretty good? Kitty Pryde, I don't think she can work, especially because he's incinerate immune, so you're not going to deal too much damage with your special 2s. And it's hard to not do light attacks. Again, it's pretty tough, man, because you take the damage. Like, if you time it correctly while he's about to pop the special with phase, you're not going to take the damage, but it's going to be super difficult to do that. There's Sunspot. He's like the worst counter because he's incinerate immune. If you hit him, he's gonna become unblockable and unstoppable. So he's definitely not gonna work. And then, like, there's not too many good counters. Like, even Domino, like, it's gonna be hard, guys, because you cannot do medium attacks. Like, you would need someone that can do a lot of specials so that you can avoid the power detonation. Like, if you use a mutant here, you want to do the objective, you cannot do light attacks. Otherwise, you're gonna take the damage each time you pop the special. Unless you're Psylocke, where you can power lock. Maybe Rogue can actually work with the power seal, but I still don't think it's gonna work because it's gonna have a ton of energize. But yeah, like I said, not too many good counters from mutants. Probably Psylocke is the best one, with Namor and Archangel, I think. And then we'll move over to the symbiotes for Paragons. So this one, by far the best option is Symbiote Supreme, because he's the only mystic character right here. He's got nullifies, and yeah, man, like, if you don't have Symbiote Supreme, it's gonna be so hard. Like, Null is not gonna do anything, just because each time he dashes with Mighty Charge, your living abyss are gonna expire, so you're not gonna have any damage. You cannot throw light attacks to pause your, like, encroaching the aura. Otherwise, you take the energized damage. So yeah, it's definitely not gonna work. Probably if you're a crazy good player, Venom and Venompool can work, I guess, because you can, like, nullify with the SP1 and the energize. But I don't know, I haven't seen that. And then I don't know anything about Red Goblin. I don't think he's got a nullify. But it's hard, man. Like I said, if you don't have mystics, you cannot throw a lot of light attacks. Unless you have a way to nullify, like Venom and Venompool. But yeah, guys, hopefully this video helps you. And again, I don't know if Icarus is, like, harder than Crossbones. For me, I think Crossbones is harder because he was, like, so much AI dependent. And, like, it happened to all of us. Like, when they don't throw a special, they don't want to throw a special. And in that fight, if they don't at the right moment, you take the Bane damage, you're dead. Whereas with Icarus, if you are very careful, with the power detonation and the 7 energize, you're good. It takes a lot of skill, but it's on you. That's the reason. It's because like for the other fight, it's AI dependent. But yeah guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.